It's another Sunday, it's another brawl, what are we doing?
Nonsense Rumble!
That's right, for those of you unfamiliar with how this works, we like to pick a category, we pick a character that fits these categories, and we argue why our guy is better than your guy. So with that in mind, Rick, what's today's category?
It's a summonable NPC ally from the Dark Souls trilogy.
Yes. I was originally going to put NPC, but some of the NPCs are bollocks.
Oh yeah, like Slave Knight. Slave Knight Gale is an NPC.
But he's also summonable.
Yeah, actually, yeah, he is, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, but the summonable version isn't as fucked up. But that being said, like the Ancient Dragon is an NPC. He can be turned into a boss, but I can see the argument.
Yeah, I guess so.
But before we get too bogged down in semantics, that's what this next part's for. Rick, who's your honourable mention?
My honourable mention is the man, the myth, the legend, Iron Tarkus.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and the reason I didn't pick him is because I think my main pick beats him, and he's so iconic as a summon that I didn't pick him for my main guy, thinking that you might pick him. So it's a bit of a counter pick, but I actually do think that my main guy is a slightly better fighter overall.
So what you're saying is you've gone for a counter pick, not because you're counter picking, but because you don't want us to share the brain cell this week.
Hopefully.
That's fair.
But yes, who is your honourable mention?
My honourable mention is Benhart of Jugo, because he is an awesome bro. He thinks he's got a Sword of Legend, but he doesn't, and he's just that beef.
Yeah, he fights as if he's got a Sword of Legend just by hitting them with a fiberglass blue sword.
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, his sword is great, but it's not the Moonlight Great Short Sword of Legend, and if it was, he'd actually be really bad at using it.
Oh yeah, because this thing requires no int, and and he don't have it either. Because he doesn't recognize it's fake. So that's a good gameplay and story integration of him not being an int build.
Yeah, man, and I absolutely adore how not one but two NPCs are both there's this guy who keeps saying he's got this magic sword. It ain't a fucking magic sword.
Yeah, if you manage to get to the end of the game without spending enough money at Morgul the Armourer, he'll just straight up say, let me have a look at that. Oh shit, yeah, that's fake.
Yeah, but here's the thing is, if you've got that sword, you already know it's fake.
Yeah. It says it in the description.
Yeah. But Benhart doesn't care. And Benhart is also summonable during the hardest fights. Well, not the hardest fights, but some tough fights in that game. Yeah,
Throne Watcher and Defender. Giant Lord is not one of the hardest ones. It's the easiest one to grind up Benhart's quest if you've managed to miss a fight.
Yeah. Watcher and Defender, Giant Lord. He's got some other fights. You can summon you can summon him for the not boss fight.
Yeah.
I've forgotten what they're called, but it's the Church Bros. It's not a boss fight.
Yeah. The hard part of that is not getting him killed on the run up.
Yeah, but the easy solution is to just clear the run up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do every single time.
He does join you for at least one more fight, but I can't remember what it is.
Well, if you bring him to Watcher and Defender, he joins you for he sticks around for Nashanda as well, obviously.
Glass Knight. Knight.
Oh, yeah, because that's one of the last times you see him out in the world as well. Like that, and then he's sat outside the memory tree.
Yeah.
And then from then on, he's just in memories from then on.
Yep. However, you can also summon him for one of the other Nashandras, the smelly one.
Oh, the smelly one. Okay.
At least I think that's where you can summon him for. He's available in the DLC for at least one boss fight, and I'm pretty sure it's that one.
For Alana the Squalid Queen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the NPC for Sin is Sir Yor.
Yeah.
Anyway, Benhart's a bro, and he's actually pretty competent. The only reason I didn't pick him is because I think my pick would beat the shit out of him.
So my pick for today is another man, myth, and legend, and another character that rewards exploration beyond just charging straight to the boss fog. It is Jester Thomas.
This is going to be interesting. So Jester Thomas is an NPC in the base of Dark Souls 2. You can summon him for precisely one boss fight in the base game, and that is against the poison Medusa lady, whose name escapes me. But you can find him 2 more times in the DLC, in the smelly DLC. He's an NPC invader. You can completely cheese him because his AI script means he has to do a gesture before fighting.
Yeah, so if you are using something like the Fugs, you can just R2 him and he gets knocked down and he stands up and tries to bow again.
It's so funny. You don't even need
It's
the
so
thugs.
funny.
You just need a weapon that's got more stagger than zero.
Yeah, like thugs are a pancake, like anything that pancakes or staggers. And if you let him get through that, he is incredibly dangerous.
Oh yeah, he's dangerous. He's not as. If they'd have just used the same stats from his summon in Earthen Peak, he would not have been a threat.
Oh yeah, because you're like maybe like 80 levels higher by this point.
Well,
minimum.
Not even that, because the only spell he has in that is basic bitch fireballs. But his AI as an invader is a lot more complex, and he's got a vast more array of. I don't know why I did that. He's got a bigger array of pyromancies, including warmth, and he uses it well.
Yes. He uses it and he pressures you out of where it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's even as an AI, he is a very good user of his toolkit.
Here's the thing, though, is
yeah.
I do think for the sake of fairness, we have to use his AI as a summon NPC, not as an invader.
Yeah, maybe. But that said, he does solo that fight.
Yeah, alright, he does solo that fight, but that fight's also a piece of piss.
Yeah. Myth of the Baleful Queen.
That's the one.
Yeah, the one who can give you the big hug with the tail.
The fight that would actually be impossible if you don't burn the windmill down. However, everybody knows to burn the windmill down.
Yeah, everyone knows to burn the windmill down. And also, I believe you can't summon Jester Thomas unless you burn the windmill down, because his sign is in the poo outside the boss arena, and you can't see it.
Yeah, you can summon him. You just got to know his sign is there.
Oh, you got to know where the pixel is. Okay.
It's not hard. It's multiple pixels.
Okay. Yeah. But yes, to fight Jester Thomas, who's going to be your main pick?
Tarkus.
Yeah.
Tarkus. Do I need to explain myself?
Yeah, you overshoot the boss arena that you need him for, pick him up, then bring him back. And he either knocks the Iron Golem off the ledge himself, or he just beats it down with a formerly sharpened hunk of like pig iron. It's great.
Yeah, so if you want to talk about NPCs soloing boss fights for you...
Yes. This is these are the two iconic ones in my opinion.
I'd argue Ben Hart or Lucatil are much more iconic than Jester Thomas.
Oh, okay. What I mean is they're iconic in that they are people who solo things, and neither of them have lines unless you believe that Jester Thomas is the Aishimai guy from Dark Souls 2.
Oh,
he doesn't even say Aishimai, but like is the guy from
I know who you're talking about.
Keep.
Yeah. Morland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's Jester Thomas because it makes no sense. I'm going to assume that people have said that because he sells the Jester gear.
Yeah, and he lives in a place that's hot, so probably has some affinity for hot things, like throwing fire.
Yeah, but he's also the spice guy.
Yeah.
And he also has a covenant.
Yeah, and he sells all the hellos.
Yeah, this is just a merchant, guys. He also sells you boss armor.
Yeah, a little bit.
Although only in New Game Plus.
True.
I think.
Now the thing I definitely have working against me is I believe Tarkus's armor is more fire resistant than any other of the non-physical elements.
Here's the reason why I think Black Iron Tarkus has an advantage, and that's because, do you remember the run-up to the Iron Golem?
Yeah, like it takes ages, and then the way you just overshoot a little bit and then get him and then pull him back a bit.
Okay, do you remember the run-up to the Iron Golem?
Apparently not then.
What attempt at impeding you is in between the bonfire and getting to the Iron Golem?
Well, there's a big giant is the main one, and you need to not get hit by those balls.
Okay, again, at the very top, there are giants throwing massive balls of exploding fire bombs at you. Who managed to avoid these?
Not me. Not on my first run through.
Tarkus avoided these. Tarkus beat the Iron Golem. He did this bit. He failed when he got to Analondo and he fell off the roof. But
yeah.
God, that's so funny to me. Like,
he's so in character as well.
Here's this warrior of legend. He's managed to beat Sen's fortress and beat every foe. And he fails because he can't fucking cross roof beams.
Yeah, he can't tightrope while these little white guys are just chucking knives.
And he's not the only one. There's people who like mages and stuff struggle with that sometimes. They shouldn't, but they do.
Yeah. Mages also have like warm-up time on their spells quite often, and getting hit by a knife is going to be a non-zero inconvenience.
I'm just saying, man.
This is one of the times where being a dex build is actually advantageous, because you can just like hit something once, stagger them, run past.
Or just have a shield.
Yeah.
Again, it's implied that Iron Tarkus didn't have a problem fighting the enemies. He had a problem with his footing. It just wasn't gonna work on that tight of a space, and he fell.
I fell.
I firmly believe that Tarkus may have beaten Ornstein and Smo if he'd have reached them.
Maybe one of them.
That's fair.
Yeah, because the beefed up one is basically what he does but better. So that might be a stumbling block.
Yeah, except he beat the Iron Golem.
Yeah, but the Iron Golem wasn't intelligent.
Oh yeah, because Smo's super smart.
Okay, but he knows that he now has Pikachu Butt Slam and he can use it.
I'm just saying, I think Tarkus would, out of all the summonable NPCs, he's got the best chance.
Yeah. Okay. And Jester Thomas, I think the thing that's really crippling Jester Thomas here is not getting his Invader moveset.
But here's the thing, is because the question was summonable NPC, I think by the spirit of the competition, we have to take their summonable stats.
Yeah. And Tarkus is better as a summon than his Dark Souls 3 incarnation is as a Invader / roaming NPC.
Yeah, that's not Tarkus though. That's a guy picking up a bunch of gear.
It's just a Tarkus cosplayer. Yeah, I still find it hilarious how you can beat him once and then he's friends with you, so you can summon him and you can summon his shadow to beat his actual body.
That's weird. I didn't realise you could do that. That's dumb. Don't like it.
It's funny.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm not backing down on this one. I think Tarkus beats the shit out of Jester Thomas.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I think he does. Because the other thing is, even if he does do some DLC stuff, that would mean that Jester Thomas would have to open up with a bow, which means that his head is very close to Tarkus, which is where the sword goes.
Oh yeah, I think Tarkus isn't fucking around with invaders.
Nah. Yes, this if a person is impeding him, he's going to go through them. Yeah, go for it. Iron Tarkus wins.
I was gonna say, you make the announcements on this show, Rick.
Yeah. So today, Iron Tarkus wins.
Fatality. Yeah, like I think Jester Thomas is an amusing pick.
Yeah.
I can't think of many NPCs summonable or otherwise that he would beat. If he goes up against Solare's just gonna fuck him up with thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Siegmeyer doesn't count because you can't actually summon him.
No, you can't actually, can you? No.
Same for Siegward.
Yeah, he just walks through the fog with you. NPCs that Jester Thomas would rinse.
But this is a discussion for another day. Perhaps a retrospective where we can rank every single summonable NPC in the Dark Souls trilogy. But for now, that's the end of the Nonsense Rumble. We hope you join us again next week for We're Not Quite Sure. We've not done the plan yet. Bye, guys.
Yeah, bye, everybody.